Hi everyone, it's Kelly. I am coming to you on this Tuesday for Teach Me Tuesday from MB's Treasurista, and I want to work a little bit with the Raffia trim today. Raffia is a crepe paper type trim, and it can be very fragile because it basically is just like paper. Now I have pink here, but Misty offers a lot of different colors in her store. She has white and black, pink. The new colors are red, brown, moss, pumpkin orange, natural, light blue, tri-colored, pink, as you see here. But it's basically like a paper, and so it rips easily. So when you are working with it, you have to be a little bit careful as far as how you use it. And I've actually used it quite a bit of different ways on some of my projects. I have used it for trim, of course. I've used it for making bows. I've used it to make flowers. And I've done quite a bit with just wrapping things with it. So I'm going to show you a couple of different techniques today that you can use the raffia for, and I'm going to work with the pink. So the first thing I'm going to show you how to do today is just to take a basic letter, and I have this B, take a basic letter that you may not really like how it looks. This is a chipboard letter, and it's in a bright red. I got this from a Christmas stack at Walmart, I believe, and I've used a lot of the other letters, and I really don't want this in the red anymore. So I'm going to recover it. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the red. And if you get underneath it, you usually can peel this right off. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I will be back to show what we're going to be doing as far as covering this letter B today. So I'll be back to show you in a little bit. Okay, so here we have our letter B. Now I could have left it the red color that it was, but when I wrap this, I don't want any of the red to see through. So how I'm going to start is I unraveled all of my pink, and I'm basically just going to put a little bit of glue on the back here to kind of start me off. And then I'm just going to start with my raffia and put the piece on the back. And I'm going to go ahead and just start wrapping. Now you might want to work in small pieces, and I was actually going to work with the whole thing, but I decided I'm just going to work with some small pieces. And basically all I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap it around like this. So I'm just going to do the longest part and wrap it around, and then I'll probably glue about every half an inch or so. I don't need to glue the whole thing down just because that would take a lot of time, but I'm going to go ahead and do this. so there you go. There's your bee wrapped in raffia, and it's really cool textured, and it has a lot of dimension, and it's just something really cool and clever that you can do. So I'm going to decorate it, and I'll be back to show you a little bit more in just Okay, so this is what we ended with, and I'm going to do a little bit to just kind of fancy it up a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and add some glue to the edge here. And then I'm going to take some of Misty's heart pearl trim in the deep mauve, and I'm going to add it to the edge like that, just right along the edge. Okay. I'm going to do it like that. And then I'm going to go right along the edge of that. And then I'm going to add the bling trim. And this is also from Misty's store. And that one I might have cut a little bit long, so I'm going to go in and just snip off the end here. Okay. So then I have my really blinged out letter B, and then I'm going to take a paper flower, and I'm going to add a little bit of glue to the center of this and add one of the new acrylic flowers, the new clear acrylic tulip flowers, just like that. Okay. And then I think I'm going to add that, let's see, maybe right here. I think, do I want it at the top or bottom? I think I might actually put it in the middle. Well, or maybe the bottom. Okay, I think I'm going to adhere it to the bottom. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the hearts, the pearl, and then the other heart. So then the bee has a little bit of a little stem here. So I'm going to add that right here. And there you have a really, really super adorable decorated bee for any project. So again, all we did was take the raffia, wrap it around, add a little bling to the side, and then a flower at the bottom, and you have a really, really cute bee for your next project. So I'm going to come back and have my materials ready to create yet another project for you with raffia. Okay, so another super easy thing that I like to do with raffia is make these really elaborate sort of bows where I will create a ribbon like this, okay, and then I'll cut it, and I'll actually make like a whole bunch of them where I just tie my bow, and then I pull them So I'm going to go ahead and make a couple of these, and then I'll show you what I do as far as making these. I usually will take maybe 2 or 3, and then I will adhere them together and create one larger, really, really interesting bow. So I'm going to make one more here. Actually, I'll just make this. I was going to fast forward, but I think I can just do this very quickly. It's all about making sure that the bows are fairly even. And you can do any size. It's good to have different sizes when you are working together with them, because that way you have some that are a little bit larger, and then you add a couple more like that, and then you add maybe one more. Okay, and then you kind of just mix it around a little bit. Okay, and then what I do is I usually like to have a small, this one's actually too big, but I use a small circle, and I'm going to go ahead and cut this out, and then I'll show you how I start. So I'll take a small little circle, add a little bit of glue, and then I'll take my bow and adhere it like this, okay? And then I'll pull my stems down, and then I'll make another small glue dot and adhere the next one in size. And as I'm doing this, I like to pull the bow out. Okay, and then again, I'm just going to go right on top of that, another really small little dot, and then I'll take my last one, and these I did in a pretty, like one was large, one was medium, and one was sort of a small. So then basically what you have is this really cool sort of a background. I don't use it usually in front just because it gets a little messy in the center. But then what you can do with this is, if you have a flower, let me see here if I can find a flower. I've taken the ribbon that I've made, and I want to add this little butterfly that I've made, and if you put them together, you have a really beautiful and interesting embellishment that you have made all on your own. So there you go. Okay, so basically all you're going to need for this one is a piece of paper that's punched out into a circle, and I'm going to start with a little glue dot on the back, and then I'm going to adhere my raffia to the back so I have a place for it to stay. And I'm going to just start wrapping it in such a fashion, and let me see here. Okay. I have it stuck on something. Let me get it here. Okay. So here we go. And I'm basically just going to wrap it around the circle. Super, super simple. I mean, this is nothing new, but I'm just showing you all the different ways that you can use this raffia, because some people look at it and they think, oh, you know, I can only tie a bow with it, or I can only use it as trim. So, okay, basically that's what we have. We wrapped it around. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make another glue dot on the back, and I am going to wrap it around and add it to that little glue dot to adhere it. Then I'm going to cut it off. Okay, and then basically you have just this little disc of raffia, and you can move it around a little bit to spread them out to cover the holes that you see. Okay, and then what I like to do is I take a small flat back pearl that looks like this. Let me show you here. Small flat back pearl, and then I will take some bling trim, and if you use a piece of wax, you can actually take the bling trim and adhere it the whole entire way around the flat back pearl, and then you will come up with something like this. So then what I like to do is, so I've added the flat back pearl and the bling trim to the raffia disc, and there you have another really beautiful little embellishment. So this is my Teach Me Tuesday, what you can do with raffia, and I hope you liked it. If you have any questions, please email me, and I would love to get back to you. So thanks everyone for watching, and have a great day. Bye!